Welcome to the Young Innovator Podcast. My name is Siddharth Vikram, and I am in fourth grade, and I'm currently living in Carlisle, MA.
So I'm Nirbhuy Arun, and I'm 7 years old. I'm from Richland, Washington State, and I'm still in the United States, as everyone knows. Some people know.
My name is Tywinn, and I am 8 years old. I am a grade 3 homeschooler. In my country, the country that I live in is the Philippines.
Hello, my name is Masturah from Uganda. I'm in grade 8.
Hi, I'm Arthur. I'm in grade 9, I believe, start of high school. And I'm from Wales in the UK.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Haragutchi. I am 11 years old, and I'm in 5th grade, and I'm from Florida, from the US.
Hi, everyone. This is Mohtasham Saqib from Pakistan. I'm in grade 11 right now, and I'm more interested in space science and the astronomy aspect of the science.
Wonderful. My name is Julie Shively, and I'm the founder of Innovation World and the co-founder of the Global Innovation Field Trip.
My name is Jake Mendelson, and I am Julie's assistant. And I won't tell you how old I am, but I am in grade 78.
Very good. Thank you all. I wanted to start off with a question about 2022. I'd like everyone who has a contribution to share about a really cool innovation they heard about in 2022.
I saw a rocket launch, and is that rocket considered an innovation? Because then I am cleared with something that was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not a brand new innovation, but I am betting there are new innovative things on that rocket that made it successful. So that's cool that you did it.
There was another Luna produced by CES. It's like a robot puppy, and it was a good domestic pet with AI, but it also had it could educate children.
Okay, so the invention I am talking about right now is the See Me Here by Anna McCord, because we get lost out on sea when we're swimming by the sea. Using the See Me Here, we will be able to spot a ship, and they will be able to save us. I'm guessing the one who has created this See Me Here is a great innovator.
Yes, so I saw it was Chat AI robot and Chat GPT, which got quite trending by the end of 2023. It revolutionized how we view automation and robots, and we could literally ask that robot anything, and it will give a brief answer or even long-term answers, providing all the information that we have shared it with. So there was a crazy innovation, in my opinion, that was really brought up by the end of 2023, and I'm excited to see how it looks in the future.
So for me, what I've seen is actually a little bit different, because this has been something changing others' lives, and it has looked like an innovation in my mind. So this has been in a local area where some people have been able to envision their life the way they wished it would have been. So it's like people have been able to improve their lives, and these are girls in my community who have been able to see something that I've never seen, and this happened in 2022. So I think that was an innovation in my mind and in their minds. So yeah.
Yeah, they've all been brilliant so far, from very interesting kind of eye-opening innovations there. The one that immediately came to mind for me, and this may be a bit of kind of not really self-promotion, but School of Humanity. So myself and Nantume kind of attend there. It's kind of online high school for people who want to kind of make change and discover more about sustainable development and all different kind of concepts and ideas like that. And it's all about kind of project-based learning. And I think that kind of new, maybe innovative, alternative kind of means of education, for me, I think has been quite like an innovation, really kind of like that new concept and kind of way of going about it. I don't think it was kind of developed in 2022, but the high school kind of started this September. So I think that sort of counts. Yeah.
So I really liked the aquaphonics, which was one of my favorites, and it's mostly like the relationships of fish and plants. So that's one of my favorite projects from last year in 2022.
A lot of times at the beginning of the year, people are asked to talk about their New Year's resolution. Instead, I'd like everyone to share a focus word that's going to encapsulate what you want more of, or what you want to focus on, or what you need to improve.
Reliability.
My focus goal would be like spark, because your head has sparks, and that really helps you when you're thinking of ideas, inventions, innovation, and many more things actually.
Okay, so my focus word will be innovate, because whenever I am going to invent something, I am innovating something.
Hello. So I think believe, because most of the times I always doubt myself, and this year I would want to change that, and actually in my school we're doing like something like this, and it's really cool because we will have like a bracelet that will have our word like carved in, and it will always like remind us of that word. So it's really cool.
My word would probably be empower, kind of like I kind of hope through doing things like this, kind of talking about kind of rights and different things to kind of empower other people, but also through kind of learning from all of you here and kind of speaking to kind of young people, professionals, experts, kind of be kind of empowered myself to kind of try new things and kind of open, kind of become a bit more open-minded to come across to kind of new ideas and different things like that.
Thank you so much, Atai. So my word would be grow, because last year I had my mantra that I was following, and that was make a way. So I'd like to change it this year to be grow.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. So my word would be productive. As like last year, procrastination had really got me wasted a lot of time that I could have used to get more productive things. But this year, I would like to be more productive and defeat procrastination.
If you're listening to a podcast today, what topic or subject most interests you?
And I know it would be innovation, and the podcast that I would go to is the Gift Podcast.
Besides from Sid's topic, there will be two topics, which will be the aspects of mechanical engineering and science.
If I would choose a topic, actually, it would be hard for me to choose which topic, but I'll go with something about human rights, because I personally believe in changing the world through law. So that would be the topic I'd go to. But still, if there was any other opportunity, I'd go for history, because through history, that's where we get to change the world, or to change what we see, because we are relating to what it used to be to what we want it to look like. So
yes, thank you. So as I've told before, I'm really fascinated by space science. Therefore, my podcast subject like that I would choose to go to is cosmology, and how it fascinates us. Like, what are the aspects of cosmology and astronomy that are really impactful for human life? I would love to learn about. I'd love to like dive deeper into that and get more knowledge about it.
Okay, like Sid said, I would also love to know about the innovation as well, but I also want to learn about the sustainable food production as well, so I can learn more and make more projects about those, and that's what I would want to have hear about podcasts on.
Again, a really tricky one. There's definitely a lot that I quite like to listen to a podcast about. One that again immediately kind of came to mind for me was about kind of like sociology, kind of societal norms, expectations, stereotypes, how all of those things form and how we can kind of challenge them, and the best ways to sort of go about that, just kind of because there's so many different angles and kind of contexts in which you can look at that. And I think it would be really interesting to kind of bring a lot of those together to kind of have that in-depth discussion about it. Yeah.
So the podcast, it would be about two things, either one thing or two things. It could either be about the brain or about electronics.
So related to what we all just talked about, we all shared an idea of what kind of podcast we would be interested if we could go listen to one right now. You have to pick one and say, I think we should do a podcast about, and answer that one question.
Okay. I would like a podcast next about electronics.
I'm thinking maybe the Sustainable Development Goals, because that kind of gives a bit of an overarching context to it. And I know loads of the ideas that have been brought up could kind of be framed under that lens a little bit. So I think that might be an interesting way to start off.
So it just like, as I said, the same thing that I was going to say. I was going to say that maybe it could be about SDGs. And maybe now I can change it to, it could be about the future, what we see the future looks like. And that could be something preparing our generation and setting again to the coming generations. Again, it's kind of like connecting the generation that is, I don't know if it's over, or even the coming generations and our generation. So things that connect them, and that's what I meant by connecting them with the future, like discussing about the future.
Yes, thank you. My idea would be to like have a podcast on cosmic scale to show humans where we exactly are. And in terms of this whole universal scale, we are so little, but also we are so special because we are the only living beings that are in the universe as of right now. So I believe that could hold a lot of significance by showing the importance of humans as well as like the non-importance of humans, which are like how insignificant and little we are in the scale of this whole universe.
I will like to talk about different types of like animals or plants that are almost going extinct, because you know when like one animal or plant goes like extinct and like the whole food production gets like destroyed. So I would want to talk about that and spread awareness so it can be all even.
So my idea would be how to help the environment, because the environment, people are getting new today because they're not fixing the environment like they used to before. But now, that is why we must clean our environment. It will be nice and clean.
Yes. So there's the Artemis program that's going out on, so people can go back to the moon, and I think we should do a podcast about that.
Yeah, I wanted to say that we could have a podcast about some, there is some, I don't know if I can term it as things that are happening today, like climate change and inequalities, because we are having SDGs and they are all being looked at right now, but they are key. And that is maybe climate change because it's what we are seeing right now, and it is having a target for 2030. So maybe climate change would be a good fit because it's happening right now, and inequalities because I like that sector.
Julie, can I throw something out to the group?
Absolutely.
So let me challenge you with something else. Everyone is talking about SDGs, 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 and they are very important. But the SDGs were created, those different topics were created by people my age. And they were created by people my age who looked back on their own lives and said, based on our life, we think this is important, and we think this is important, okay? There was a US government official who once said, there are known knowns and there are known unknowns. But what really scare me are the unknown unknowns. And what he meant was there are certain things we know that we know, 2 + 2 = 4. There are certain things that we know we don't know, like, is there life on other planets? Okay. He said, but what really scares me are the unknown things that we don't know them. And so I would like to challenge this group to think of some things that are going to be really important in your lives in the future that are not listed in the SDGs. I guarantee you, in 50 years, you will go, oh my God, this is really important. Why weren't we talking about this in 2023? And the answer is because the SDGs were created by people like me, and we only look toward the past. So that's a challenge for this group as a podcast.
So I would like to answer that question. First of all, it's really amazing. It's a good challenge. But something that I see in my mind is that we are having SDGs that are being listed for people in the like you say that those like in your age, and what is in the world today is that we are having a lot. We've seen many people writing about SDGs, people talking about technology, people talking about everything, but we are having less action. So so what we need to do right now, what I think is to put that in action, because we are lacking action and we are having more of wide articles, videos, and all that. So my answer would look like we need action. Yes, it was found by those people, but we need action. That's why I am talking about SDGs, because I see less actions on that, and we are having a lot of paperwork, media stuff, but not on ground.
I think that all of what you said is right, Jake, and I think all of what you said to me was right, and I think it's all interconnected. And the nice thing about these Young Collaborator podcasts is we don't have to just do one. We could do multiple series of podcasts. That's the idea behind having more than 1 or 2 students be a part of this. Is we can have 2 people working on something cosmic related who obviously love that angle. We can have a couple people doing things on SDGs. We can have people doing things on electronics or on AI. I mean, we have the capability of doing more than one thing because we have more than one person sitting here. So
yeah, so about what Jake asked, I didn't answer something that he said, what would be something that I could say that is not, it wasn't a question to me, but twice, something not listed in the SDGs, and that was culture, because we see that right now the world is changing in some things like climate change, and I would refer that to climate, to culture. And so I wanted to just talk about culture. It's not listed there, and it's one of the reasons as to why we are having climate change in the way I think I could explain that.
Yes, so I'm answering like Mr. Jake's answer. The first thing that came to my mind is the skill of questioning. Humans have always like loved questioning and have been curious since day one of being here on Earth. But slowly, but gradually, I feel like, according to my experiences, we are losing that skill. We are not able to think more critically and ask the most important questions. We are just so busy in finding the answers that we forget to question them. So I feel like SDGs really need to be questioned, and just like how we question right now, the skill of essential questioning and like teaching the importance of that thing could really be improved, could really be an element to improve in the SDGs.
I would like to agree with Nantume and her comment about culture. If you study history, you will see civilizations that were at the height of civilization doing great and wonderful things, and literally in a generation they collapsed. And that's not a question of their mind changed. It's not a question of the technology changed. It's a question of their culture changed. And you see also the reverse, where there were organizations and societies that were, incredibly primitive, and then within literally, 20 or 30 years became incredibly powerful and productive. And once again, that's a cultural thing. So Nantume, I agree with you. I think, Nicole, the impact of culture is very, very important.
Now you've talked about your interest and you've thrown out some podcast ideas. Think about the idea that you threw out, or ideas, and send me an email and say, I think if we were to talk about, let's just say, cosmic scale, if we were to talk about that, here's who we should invite to be on our podcast. Would it be a group of students? Would it be a group of students with a subject matter expert from a university or a school or out in the celebrity world? Would it be who do we see fulfilling that podcast with us? With that, I'd like to pass it back to Mohtasham to close our show for today.
Thank you so much. And I would like, by the end of this podcast, I hope you have all learned something. And thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you enjoyed the time there. Thank you for joining Young Collaborators Innovation Podcast, and sign out.